Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Level Up Podcast.
Hi.
Where we're going to dive into some trends, ideas, and movements that shape how we live, work, and level up in style. I'm Deanna.
And I'm Huey.
And today we're rewinding the clock to explore something classic.
80s style.
Exactly. And surprisingly current.
Yeah, very much so. It's all coming back. If anybody watched Wimbledon, then Ralph Lauren really brought it this year. Totally preppified the whole tournament.
So we're talking about the world of preppy culture. That's right. The Preppy Handbook is back in the conversation, and we're here to unpack why this old school aesthetic is making a fresh comeback in fashion, lifestyle, and even mindset. So let's get into it. So the first question is, what was the Preppy Handbook and why did it have such a cultural moment when it was released in 1980s?
Okay, I can probably answer this. I actually had the Preppy Handbook back then. Back in the day. It was introduced to me by my best friend at the time, Michelle Keefe. Back in Montreal. So well, the whole idea of prep is preparatory, right? Prep school. So these kids went to affluent schools where there was, more or less of a dress code. When we were younger, my brother and I, John Paul, we actually went to all boys school where we had to wear a shirt, a tie, and gray flannel slacks every day. So it's just it's the idea is basically giving students grooming them from that age to be young little gentlemen. So preppy, though, I think was adopted in 80s culture, and it was just sort of a step above preparatory or private school. It was just where standard Bass Legions, penny loafers, Ralph Lauren button downs, and chinos or khakis, if you would. And basically this was a calling card to fit into, I would say, a certain segment of the population. You are identified as basically someone who was going to be somebody. You didn't necessarily have to be there yet, but definitely the kids who were preppies, they had some kind of something backing them up. Yeah.
Okay. So the second question is, why do you think the preppy aesthetic is coming back now in 2025? Is this a backlash to fast fashion or more about nostalgia?
There's a plethora of reasons. I mean, we could look at basically things like Hot Wheels, which are basically making a huge comeback. Hot Wheels are so hot, and it's interesting because 2.5 years ago or 2 years ago when we first started collecting, and I think I said to you, I think there's something here because everything had changed with COVID. COVID changed absolutely. It kind of wiped away a lot of people's pasts in a way, right? True. Leaving people sort of disjointed and sort of, ships without harbors. Like, a lot of people's lives were disrupted. They had to move. The sort of continuity that maybe a lot of people enjoyed before COVID was gone. And so generally when that happens, I think people revert back to what's familiar. They revert back to, when they were younger. And I think everything that was old is coming back now. I think it's basically giving us a new, because in essence it's a fresh start, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so all the things that were super amazing. I mean, when I was growing up, I had the penny loafers. All my shirts were Ralph Lauren. I was pretty serious. They used to call me Uber Prep. Uber Prep. Yeah, I used to have. It's funny. I remember, this is a funny story. Me and my buddy Anderson, we'd always wear like 2 or 3 polo shirts. We'd layer them, so we'd have like 3 or 4 polo shirts. And one time we were going downtown Montreal, probably going out to a bar or something like that, and somebody we went to high school with sort of looked over at me. She said, "Oh, you wearing your whole entire outfit in one day, your wardrobe in one day?" I died.
She just didn't understand the style.
Well, she did understand the style, but thinking back, it was kind of ridiculous. It wasn't that hot. It wasn't that cold either. And here I am layering 3 or 4 golf shirts on. So, but it was fun. It was fun, and the thing is that there were the stoners, there were the goths, there were the rockers, right? And then there were whoever the normal people, but the preps, they were the ones who got the most respect. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so question 3, how has the modern preppy look evolved from the original? Is today's version more inclusive, ironic, or even rebellious?
Okay, so I'm going to venture a guess, because I know, like you and I have pretty well always, been, in terms of the dress code, we probably have everything the quintessential preppy would need and want. Like our wardrobe is totally preppy, right? So, and the things that we have, like, you have some pretty heavy duty Ralph Lauren sweaters, sweatshirts, pants, socks, Baswegians, you name it. But you've also got a few pieces of Psycho Bunny.
Yeah, I was gonna mention Psycho Bunny.
Psycho Bunny is
sort of the rebellious.
That's the rebellious new, and that stuff is
that's more
really
inclusive.
It's sweet. It is like we went to the National Bank Open last year on their family day, and we went into their boutique. I don't think we bought much stuff, but since then we bought a couple of pieces, and it's really fantastic stuff. So I think that would be a new version, but I think that the traditional preppy style, like the Baswegians, penny loafers, your chinos, your dungarees, which are your jeans, and your polo golf shirts, and I don't think that ever changes. I think that's just standard. I think you could add to it, but you definitely can't. Those are your staple pieces. And what do you think?
I'd say that they are just the classic, like all the Ralph Lauren line.
Yeah.
And that look, I guess the only difference now is you got Psycho Bunny jumping into that.
Into the fray, yeah.
And they're a bit more colorful and a little bit more bold.
But when you put on a Psycho Bunny piece as opposed to a Ralph Lauren piece, is there a difference for you?
Well, I think Psycho Bunny stands for inclusivity.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe a lot. It's more openly inclusive.
But if you look at it from a purely price point perspective, it's not cheap.
No, that's true.
And Ralph Lauren has gone up substantially. They're everything. Their golf shirts, their polo button downs, I believe, are roughly around $150, $200.
Yeah.
They used to be $60. So that lets you know that the brand is maintaining its exclusivity, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think both do.
Both do.
But it's just Psycho Bunny has a different way to attract new people into it.
Their stuff's special. It's fantastic.
Anyway, this is not an endorsement for Psycho Bunny.
Yeah. Or Ralph Lauren. We just,
I like both brands.
Love both brands.
So, okay. And then question 4, what role are social media and influencers playing in this resurgence? Are we seeing TikTok preppy or Ivy core taking shape out there?
Oh, most definitely. Preppy's back in. It's back in a big way, and you can just tell by basically the kids who are embracing it. It used to be that I think for a long time people were just going after designer brands for no reason. So you'd buy a $300 or $400 shirt because it was a $300 or $400 shirt. While prep tells a different story. It tells of old money. It tells of a way of doing things, a way of doing business, a way of being. Prep is core values. It is. It's rooted in something greater. The style, even the pastime, the cigars, the golf, the tennis. There are certain quintessential activities which rotate around preppydom. So I think it's more of a lifestyle fashion than a lot of the other fashions, and I think people are just embracing the lifestyle. And prep generally, it's not clubbing. It's going away, weekend getaways. It's going to like vernissages, art galleries, It's a sophisticated way of living, sort of dinner parties, prep is sort of affluent culture, and it's the one thing that, I mean, the whole idea behind, I think, Ralph Lauren and any type of Old Navy, Beaver Canoe, all of these sort of preppy brands, is you buy garments that are built to last.
Yeah.
Right? Burberry, like, this is all quality stuff that you buy a pair of pants. They may be $250, but they're gonna last you for 5-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The same with your moccasins and your Baswegians. And so you don't replace something until you have to, right? That is the whole preppy mentality. It's buying quality and living the same way that you treat your possessions, your garments.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next question is number 5. Is preppy just a fashion trend, or does it signal a shift in mindset? Like craving order, etiquette, quiet luxury?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about, I think, that whole the preppy ideal, is that it could be either.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know a lot of people who adopt the style because it's a simple style. It's very simple rules. Once again, you're looking at loafers, jeans, and a t-shirt, right?
Or a dress shirt.
Or a dress shirt, button down.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren makes very good preppy basics, right? The golf shirt, quintessential golf, like this here. I mean, that can be considered preppy. Now, then you could take it to the whole other level, where you live the lifestyle, right? But you have to be a bit more well-heeled for that, right? You need, I guess, certain things. Preppy is like a club, right? Once you master the basic outfit, you could pretty well get into the places, Hogs Hollow bars and the downtown investment bars on the top of buildings and so forth. And that's where you'll basically interact with other preppies, and up north, cottage country and so forth. So I mean, if it's something you want to delve into, you simply have to buy the Preppy Handbook, which is interesting. I think we should share that your Preppy Handbook, at the time we got off Amazon, I think it was $20 or $24.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere in there, 14, 20.
And the last time you checked, it was about 200 and change.
Yeah.
Limited prints right now.
And very hard to find.
Very hard to find
at this stage. So that means somebody's bought them.
That means people are buying them, but it's a serious culture. Yeah, they take their stuff very serious. So anyone learning how to basically become a preppy and what the whole culture, almost religion, entails, is we would strongly suggest you get the Preppy Handbook.
Yeah. And there's a couple other books.
No,
I can't remember them off the top of my head. The one that you got picked
the
up
Japanese
the other
one.
year?
Yeah, the Japanese one. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll bring it in one time, and so I'll display it.
But the handbook was the
Bible.
quintessential piece.
That's the Bible. Yeah. Okay.
And then question 6. So how can somebody level up their personal brand or lifestyle by borrowing from the preppy playbook without it becoming a cliche?
Yeah, that's okay. So the interesting thing about preppy is that it's at a price point that you cannot actually, it is what it is. Yeah. Right? It's like, if you've got a tennis racket, a half decent tennis racket, some tennis shoes, not just your Nikes, some tennis shoes, and a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and you go out and you start swinging the ball on the court, you'll be accepted. You'll be a hitter, right? Yeah. And if you keep going consistently, you'll get better at it. Now, that's the same thing with the whole preppy culture, is that if you can afford to get the pieces, like, how long did it, like, we are literally finished, but how long did it take for us to build?
Years.
Yeah, the wardrobe. Yeah,
and then everything just mixes and matches.
Yeah, everything, that's the way it's supposed to be, and you don't need anything.
Nothing sticks out.
And the idea is that if let's just say there's a gala, or a big dinner you're going to, or you're going to some kind of event or whatever, you go and you buy a new dress for maybe $300-$500.
Yeah.
Right? But other than that, you have everything you need. Like, you probably have every single color of polo chinos there is.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, that's it. It's just once you get the basics, you're good to you don't need much. Unless if there's something gets old, you simply replace it. Right? So it's a sustainable fashion.
Yeah.
Preppy, but it takes
an investment.
It's an investment. It's like art.
Yeah.
It's like Hot Wheels. You take your time, you look for pieces, and then everything sort of complements everything else. Yeah.
Okay. And then I was actually just thinking about networking events that you and I have gone to.
Yep.
And I think I only see 1 or 2 people dressed totally preppy at those events.
Yeah.
But that was also maybe the
nature
type
of the events.
Yeah.
No, there's about, maybe in Toronto, maybe about 20 Hogs Hollow. And if you go down and you hang out in the financial district,
yeah,
like we usually go to the keg for your birthday or my birthday down there. You're gonna find that type of clientele there.
Yeah.
Up north, definitely Muskoka, Gravenhurst, right? That's where, like, preppies basically will work in the city in the week, but then they party off the grid up north, where basically they could get pretty wild, and it's not going to basically come back to haunt them on Monday. Yeah, that's part of the whole culture as well. Like, our average weekend, we'd be piled in someone's car, driving off to somebody's cabin or cottage. We never basically, pooed where we eat, so to speak. Yeah, you go away. You different, some island,
there.
some place, and somebody's got a huge house up north that you could basically hang out in. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And the next and final question for this week's podcast is, do you think the Preppy Handbook deserves a sequel for today's current world? And what do you think that the original missed or maybe needs to be updated? Yeah,
I think a reprint. I think the original one, like, you should find yours and read again. It's so timeless, and the thing is that the reason that I wanted us to start collecting something was because of that exactly. Yeah. And right now, so many people are starting to collect things from years ago. They're shifting away from art and so forth. They're collecting, like, clothes, like jeans, there's sneakers. The sneaker culture is absolutely insane, but it's real. People have, like, tons and tons of sneakers, right? And so to find something to collect, basically, it's just part of that whole preppy culture. It's basically finding value in something and collecting for the sake of, enjoying what you're collecting. Like Hot Wheels. I mean, they're kids' toys in essence, but they're beautiful. They're way more than that. And the price point to get in, when you and I start collecting, I guess we had, maybe about 10, 20, 30. Now we're in the thousands now. But, like, amazing stuff, we've gotten from all over the place, right? And it's been a joy collecting them, and some of them have really good value. So it's just part of I would say enriching
your life.
Your life. That's it. Enriching your life. It doesn't have to be in simple ways, right? And in simple, like, the affluent. I mean, they could go out there and buy $500 to $2,000, glasses or the Royal Dalton China and that sort of thing. But if you want to basically find something that a good entry point and that you can basically do for a very long time, you find something like Hot Wheels or baseball cards, or something very new that I think is going to be quite hot as well over the next 10 years. You and I just recently found it out, is that tennis cards are just coming out.
Yeah.
Tennis cards.
Yeah, it was surprising to see how collectible they become so quickly.
Absolutely. So yeah, and they seem to be going up in value. And there's a couple of young and up and coming players. Like right now, you have the whole new roster of new young talents in tennis. So now would be the time to just grab as many as you can. But they're not like a box is like $500-$600.
Yeah.
So, but that's something definitely we're going to be looking into for sure. I guess that's it.
So, whether you're dusting off your boat shoes or just curious about why everybody suddenly loves cable net sweaters again, remember, Preppy might be back, but it's got a whole new twist. So thanks for joining us this week at the Level Up Podcast. And don't forget to rate, review, or share our episode with some of your most well-mannered friends.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And until next time, stay stylish, stay sharp, and always level up.
Always level up.
Level up.
Level up.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you next week.